One Mix Radio. One Mix Radio.
You are always watching One Mix Radio reports from Tomorrowland 2012. Today is Friday, 27th of July, and we have with us two great artists, one of the hottest duo in the trance scene at the moment. They are playing at the group therapy stage of Above and Beyond and Juno Beats. They are Norin and Rad. Hello, Norin and Rad.
Hey, what's up?
We are very glad to have you. So it will be good to tell us some little thing about how did you start your career, when things have started for you.
Well, for me, I mean, I've been in music, since I was really young. My dad got me really well into music, and, I was into a lot of different stuff, not so much dance music when I was growing up, but, heavy metal, hardcore music, like punk music, just, anything that has a lot of energy. And then I was also really, really into hip-hop music, being from California, Southern California, it's really big. So, I eventually got a pair of turntables, started messing around. And
oh, excellent.
When I first got my first trance records and mixed them, I was like, wow, this is so much more fun than, than mixing the hip-hop, So I decided to go with that route, and him and I met.
How did you met then?
We actually met through mutual friends at another event in California, and pretty much we clicked, became a big family, and then me and him just decided, just kick things off. I told him I'm producing, he's DJing, and we're like, all right, let's try it.
So you are the producer, and you are giving also some ideas when you produce.
We do, but we do both. But mainly majority, I've done most of the production, and he helps me out. Giving me okay, maybe change that. And so.
Would you like to tell us which track was the one that blows you in the scene?
The Gift. The Gift.
The Gift.
I think The Gift is the one that mainly kind of pushes out there. And then after Bloom, when that followed up, that really kind of set the bar. All right, these guys are for real, I guess.
Do you have some people that you think are responsible for the help that they gave you? And
we definitely do. All of this would not be possible if it wasn't for Will Holland, Chad Cisneros, Dave Reed from Tritonal. The Tritonal guys and Will Holland from Enhanced. They helped us boost our career from the beginning. And that's when we released The Gift on Tritonal's Air Up There. And from there we started getting recognition here and there, and then Above and Beyond, they asked us to do some work with Juno Beats, and it was great. We got to work with our dream labels, Enhanced and Juno Beats. Work with
very quickly, you play with the most important record labels. And how Tritonal get to know you?
We met Tritonal actually because they came and they played in LA, and our manager was also a promoter at the time. And he was doing shows, he brought Tritonal out, and so we had the benefit of meeting them, conversing with them, and I think that, when we met, we brought them to the studio and showed them some of our work, and I think Chad and Dave both saw, some potential there. So, they went ahead, they signed us onto their label, Air Up There, and, that's also a sub-label of Enhanced, and Will Holland works for Enhanced, so, all those guys helped out, and then eventually led us to Juno Beats, to working with, Alan, all the guys at Juno Beats, and it's just been an amazing uphill,
exactly.
thing going.
And not only your originals are great, but you have a lot of great remixes for other artists.
Thank you.
Would you like to mention some of your remixes and the one that you pick up? Favorite remixes, maybe?
Favorite remix? Jeez, there's a few, but I think right now it's probably got to be the Air for Life one. I think the Air for Life is just
wonderful.
When I made that, I was like, okay, this is pretty spot on right now,
yeah,
and I like it a lot. I want to step outside the box and do something a little different. And then the last drop, really different from the first drop.
Exactly.
So
you are doing a great job. And also your sound, do you think it's straightforward trance or it has also other elements?
Every element, pretty much. I try, you know, to enforce every type of element in there. You know, right now we're at a stage where, you know, it's still just finding out our, you know, what we really like and what we really want. And I think actually we'll probably stick with this because it really keeps every track fresh. You know, and you know, most people will probably be like, oh, you know, you're maybe making all this Strauss kind of stuff or what they say, but it's, you know, it's been working on so far, and you know, we're gonna stick with it.
It's a very clubby trance sound.
I think what the big thing is you know, we push our sound to be directed towards the audience. You know, when you're at the party, like I said, you know, I grew up listening to punk and all that, so high energy is what it's all about. And I feel that, you know, with our sound, it gets a lot of controversy because a lot of the trance purists, I guess, you know, don't like it too much because they're calling it trance when really we're throwing a lot of elements in. So it gets a little bit problematic when people are trying to classify it, and so we always just try to step away from that, you know, not really classify it. If they want to call it Strauss, if they want to call it electro, you know, we just call it music.
Exactly. And we call it the music that we love.
Thank you.
So, what other tracks are you having at the moment?
Right now we're doing a few collabs. Can't say exactly who with just yet, but that's going to be coming out. We just did a remix for a game, a really popular game. Can't say that one either just yet, and maybe probably the next couple of months.
Oh, excellent.
We got three more tracks, three-track EP. It's going to be coming out in June Beats around September.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
We are waiting for this.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think the fans will be, once we show them the video game remix that he's talking about, I think they're going to be kind of blown away because we really wanted to go a different direction, so we went really kind of dubstepping, but with some rock and roll in there as well. So we really wanted to switch it up from not just dance music and not like rock music. We wanted to just blend them and, you know, get the feel of the video game, you know?
Yeah, something more for the game, you know?
Exactly.
So.
What is your opinion about the blown of the EDM scene in USA? At the moment, everyone is playing EDM. I mean, even the rap artists, they ask EDM artists to produce their albums.
It's crazy. I mean, we kind of saw this coming, but at the same time, you didn't know how it was going to go because, you know, there's a lot of politics against, you know, this whole scene, but it seems like it's finally caught its niche, and you know, it's really blowing up, and I'm excited.
I definitely think well, obviously it's grown a lot, but what I think is so great is that it's not just Americans calling it techno anymore. We're starting, you know, they're starting to become educated, and they're starting to realize, you know, certain groups of people are like, I like tech house now, or I like trance now, you know, and that's such a great thing.
Education.
Yeah, exactly, because, you know, all it's going to do is just help the scene grow, and if the scene grows, you know, that's a benefit for all of us because we love the music so much that we just want to see it continue.
Exactly. And do you have festivals like Tomorrowland in USA?
I think the biggest one so far is Electric Daisy Carnival. And
Tell us a little bit about it. Have you played on this?
Yeah, we just recently, you know, played that one in June, the beginning of June. It was nuts. It was nuts. It was a really good show. Yeah, we came here, and it's, you know, just mind-blowing too. Just every show that we've been playing so far, it's been excellent. So
it's really overwhelming. I mean, you know, everyone's always like, oh, you know, that must be, you know, so crazy playing at EDC or Tomorrowland. And the funny thing is, you know, you get up there and you do what we've done for the last 2 years. You play on the decks and you DJ to the crowd. But then what really gets you is when you look up and you're like, whoa, you get taken aback, you know, and you have to take a step back and go, wow, there's this many people here, you know, and try to play to that. And it's insane, the amount of energy that the U.S. brings, and, you know, it's starting to grow a lot like how Tomorrowland is.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely good. I think just people need to get a little more educated instead of just going, oh, I know the big artists, or I know, you know, just that song, you know, like, you know, people need to get more into it.
Are there any artists that you would like to do a remix for them?
We would love to remix Daft Punk. If we could remix anybody, that would be who we would remix as Daft Punk. And I think, you know,
Tiesto would actually be from Elements of Life.
Some old Tiesto would be amazing to remix. And I think then something new, I mean, we would love to remix Porter Robinson. We are huge Porter Robinson fans.
Definitely.
I mean, you know, the guy is so innovative with his music, and now he's slowly making this, this switch, and he's bringing trance into his whole thing. And I personally love that because I love his style. And then I've seen him live a couple times, and now to see him throw down some trance tracks has really gotten to me.
Really?
It makes me feel really good.
He's playing even trance music?
Yes, definitely. He, from what I've heard too from sources, he loves trance music. So.
Oh, excellent. That's great. What did you know about the festival? Did you check out the big movie from last year that everybody's checking out? 5 million views on YouTube.
Yes. Well, no, we saw the video, and still the video doesn't do justice being here.
Exactly.
Like it's mind blowing here. It's really sick.
Exactly.
I like the whole, like it's like a village, and you come in
Exactly.
here, it's an experience in itself.
It's an experience, exactly.
I can guarantee that 1,000 of those 5 million views were probably from me getting excited about the show. I probably watched that video 100 times, just in my head thinking, wow, like
where we are going to play.
We've come to, I've never been to Europe. This is my first time
this
here.
is the first time
Yes,
in
this is my
Europe.
first time here. So it was
excellent.
just like, it blew me away to think, like
Excellent.
our music brought me to Europe, and I get to share it with my fans who I've been dying to share it with. I've been dying to come to Europe because we get our Facebook and our Twitter and everybody's saying, when are you guys going to come to London or, Spain or all these places? And it's like, this is our first European show. And
So that means then that afterwards maybe you will go to Spain, to Ibiza?
hopefully, we're really hoping that we can start coming over here and sharing our sound, because one thing that we feel like is going to be fun is when we perform to the fans, because although a lot of people do classify us as strictly trance, when you see us, I mash up pretty much everything there is to mash up on the decks. We can play anything from electro house to progressive house to deep tech house, and the thing to me is like people classify us as trance, and I've got this much house in my set. So it's a really fun thing, because especially with the way that we make tracks, the way that he does it, it's insane, because it brings together all these elements and it makes it so it fits in our set.
So would you like to tell us a little bit about your podcast that soon it will be broadcasted on One Mix Radio as well?
Yeah,
the podcast is called The Remedy.
Oh.
And we do it every 2 weeks if we can, we try and push it out every 2 weeks as best we can. The main thing is we try and showcase not only, the tracks that we know people might like that they haven't heard, but we try and showcase small artists, because for us, one big thing when we were coming up was the fact that Marcus Schultz or Above and Beyond were playing our tracks when we were nobody. And I feel like that's one thing that I really want to give back. I want to find these kids who are trying to be just like us and bring them up, because it's going to do is grow the scene further.
Are we going to see an album?
Yes, definitely. We're already pretty much starting, and we're getting ideas going right now. But I think probably by the end of summer is when we're really going to kick things off.
Do you like vocal tracks then? Are you
I
going
love.
to have
we're
vocal
going to have
tracks?
we're going to have a good amount of vocal tracks. And
do you have a favorite vocalist that you would like to work with?
Sure, I think.
I don't know. We have a lot of ideas bouncing around. We've been
Zoe Johnston, for instance.
She'd be a great one to work with.
That would be amazing if the guys from Above and Beyond would allow it. But one thing that we're going to do on our album is we're going to reach every spectrum of this EDM scene, because we want people to know, it's this album. We want it to be something to where you can have an experience to where you can put it on and you don't want to switch tracks.
Oh, excellent.
And a lot of it, it's going to be confusing, I think, at first to our fans, because we're going to have anything from glitch hop to trance. Definitely block an artist mentally when he's trying to sound like someone else, because one big thing that we do is we listen to a lot of tracks and get influenced, but we don't listen to trance tracks to get influenced. We listen to Jay Dilla or Flying Lotus. A lot of there's Clark. He has this album called Iridelphic, and it is one of the most unique sampled albums that you will ever hear. But the thing is that when we tell our fans this is what we listen to, they're all like, what is this? But it's how we get a lot of our inspiration. It's how we get the ideas that we have in our tracks. And I feel that that's one of our biggest things, is our inspiration comes from everywhere, and I feel like that's what helps our tracks become the way they do.
Okay, so thanks very much once again for bringing these reports. We wish you all the best, and we hope to see soon your new EP.
Definitely. Thank you
so much. Here we are with Norin and Rad at Tomorrowland 2012. You see it, you believe it.